How's it going, everybody? Braddock here. Today we're looking at one of my favorite IFAKs, the Blue Force Gear Trauma Kit Now. Y'all check it out. All right, guys, and welcome back. As you can see, I am a huge fan of the Blue Force Gear Micro Trauma Kit Now, just because, again, of how compact and micro it is. It keeps everything you need and really nothing you don't in a trauma situation. So it's great for carrying in an EDC bag if you are on patrol. It is a phenomenal IFAK for carrying on your belt, like so, and also keeping in a vehicle. If you don't want a lot of medical gear in your vehicle to where you're just not only paranoid but super unorganized, this is an awesome kit for that. Also, your range bag. So every range bag should have some type of IFAK in it, and I think the Trauma Kit Now by Blue Force Gear is the way to go. So let's go ahead and dive in to just one in general. We'll open this guy up. All right, so a few contents here. I like to base all my bags, all my kits, off of the March algorithm. That stands for massive hemorrhage, airway, respiratory, circulation, and hypothermia. Now, on such a small kit like this, there's a few things you won't be able to contribute to the algorithm, like circulation, like hypothermia, etc. But that massive hemorrhage, airway, and some respiratory issues, I mean, this honestly will go ahead and cover. All right, so let's go ahead and dive in. First thing you notice is some sort of PPE, especially if you're treating another casualty, another patient, someone you don't know. You want to make sure your hands are covered. So the first thing in the March algorithm is massive hemorrhage. A tourniquet should always be something you carry on your person. So as you can see on this belt, I do have a tourniquet on the bottom. And every EDC bag I have, I carry a tourniquet, and then I also carry a tourniquet down on my left ankle, just so it's an easy grab. Moving on from there, we have some combat gauze. This is a hemostatic type gauze with what's called kaolin in it to help coagulate with blood once you're packing a wound. Next up, we have a SWAT T tourniquet. Now, the cool thing about the SWAT Ts is because of its multi-use. Not only can you use it as a tourniquet, let's say for a pediatric and or a canine, but you can also use this as some sort of bandage. So pretty universal with the SWAT Ts. Again, highly recommend them, and it's super compact. Next thing we're looking at is some sort of airway. So here we have an NPA, nasal pharyngeal airway, and then on the back all we do is tape up some lubricant and add a good solid piece of tape. And that tape is ideal just because once you put in an NPA, you want to make sure it's taped down and not going anywhere. And then next, if you are dealing with some type of puncture wound, we have these guys right here. This is the hyphen vented chest seal ×2, one for an entry, one for an exit wound, and I highly recommend, again, the compact version. A little bit cheaper than all your other chest seals, and also it's super compact, so it fits in your Blue Force Gear Micro Trauma Kit Now kit. So awesome addition for respiratory. And last but not least, moving over to our decompression needle. So this may be something for you that's a little tough to get, but you can go to your local Army surplus shop and see if they have these in stock. This is an ARS 3 1/4 14 gauge decompression needle used to prevent tension pneumothorax. So as you could tell, you could fit quite a bit in that compact kit. Now if we move over to another micro trauma kit we have here, pretty much the same exact layout. The only difference is instead of using the SWAT T tourniquet, we're throwing in a North American Rescue Mini Responder. This is a 4-inch ETD, also known as an emergency trauma dressing, that is basically a flat pack. What they do is they fold over the material and use less of your ace bandage rather than doing a roll, so you can get it pretty compact, as you could see. Now, one of the things I hear quite a bit is price. Price is always a concern. And yes, a lot of this medical equipment can be pretty pricey. For example, combat gauze. For a hemostatic agent type gauze, you're looking at roughly $35 to $40 just per pack. Now, what I highly recommend, again, is checking out your local Army surplus shop. a lot of their medical appliances are going to be expired. But let's be honest, does it really expire? You could find combat gauze that is expired 1 to 2 years for about 1/4 of the price than you will online. So again, check out your Army local surplus shops and see what they have in stock. Well, that about wraps it up for today's video. Make sure to like and subscribe down below. If you have any questions or requests for videos up in the near future, feel free to let me know. I'm Braddock. Y'all stay ready.